Hey, what's up everybody? Rob Zeoli here. Welcome to my real estate channel. So over 320,000 people moved to the state of Florida alone in 2022. Now that's a staggering number, but there is a flip side to that coin. Now there is a Facebook group called, I think it's Leaving Florida, and if you look really through it, and this article kind of breaks it down as to some of the main reasons why. It says here, Florida, which was the fastest growing state in 2022, according to the Census Bureau, it saw a 1.9% increase, faces obstacles in the state if the state wants to keep recent transplants. One turnoff is the heat. Blame global warming for the long, hot summer. So this is obviously a politically slanted article. But here it says other reasons that people leave the state after moving here are varied. The Facebook group for people moving out of Florida has cited severe weather, low wages, crowded beaches, changing politics, and steep housing prices as the reasons why people left. Now, I can tell you as someone that is not a Florida resident my entire life that some of these things in this list are absolutely true. Now, I'm going to go through some of the things in this list and some other things not listed here that is making a lot of people leave Florida and might just be the reason why you should not move to the state of Florida in the near future. So first off, let's start with the weather. Now, heat has been a big topic because it's been very hot lately. Hurricanes and also flooding is another huge topic of discussion. Now, how about the heat? Well, I've been here since 2005, and it's just always hot here in the summer. I'm not really noticing much of a difference this year than previous years. I mean, really, I can't really tell. Some people are talking that this is a massive heat wave or the worst heat wave that we've ever had in history. I'm not sure if that's absolutely true. And I'm not sure if it's absolutely a product of global warming like some other people are mentioning. We've heard global warming many years ago, and then they changed that to climate change. And now that it's hot again, it seems like global warming is again top of mind. Also, if it is getting hotter than it has been in the past, are we to blame? Are humans to blame for what's happening? So it depends on which side of the fence you're on with that and what you believe, but a lot of people are leaving because of how hot it's been. Now, I can point you to this chart right here, which basically shows the annual heat wave index, and this is from the EPA going from 1895 up to 2021. And if you look at the chart, you can see we've always had spikes and heat waves. You can see the real big one here. I think this was the year 1936. So I don't know how much pollution we had back in 1936. I also remember the Ice Age that wiped out the dinosaurs. So the climate is always changing. Again, you could think what you want to think about the reason, but heat is a big reason why some people are moving from the state of Florida. The other thing are hurricanes, which is just a way of life here in the state. So we are in the middle of, or just started, hurricane season. Goes from June through late November. And this happens every year. In fact, if you look at, or at least South Florida, we've been pretty lucky. My first year that I moved here was 2005. As for whatever year Katrina was, and that was the worst year that I've ever experienced as far as hurricanes here in South Florida. We've been very lucky, but depending on where you are, last year was Fort Myers. Hurricanes is a horrible thing if you absolutely get hit with one. It's just part of living here in Florida. I don't think they're getting any worse than they've ever have been. It's just a matter of where they hit, and they're always going to hit the state of Florida. If you look at Florida on a map and where it's located, a peninsula in the middle of the ocean, Atlantic Ocean, the Gulf of Mexico, where hurricanes form, obviously you're going to get hit with hurricanes. So that's, it just comes with the territory. I don't know how many people are leaving here because we're getting hurricanes. Obviously, there are some that don't want to deal with them at all, so that's also a factor. And the other one is flooding, which is another topic of discussion lately because we just had those big floods in Fort Lauderdale this year, actually. So there are some low-lying areas throughout Fort Lauderdale that are prone to flooding, and they usually happen when we have a major storm. This last one was because we had a lot of rainfall. I think they call it a once in 1,000 or 10,000 year storm, where we got a massive amount of rain in a 24-hour period, and our drainage system could not handle all the water. It couldn't get rid of it, so some areas got flooded. But weather is a big reason, or one of the main reasons why people are actually leaving the state of Florida. Now, another reason, and these are in no particular order, and again, these are coming from real people that were surveyed and that leave comments on this Facebook group about why they're leaving, is overcrowding. And I can tell you for sure, from my experience being here from 2005, it is getting overcrowded, or it's a lot more crowded than it has been in the past. Now, I've talked about this frequently on my videos about all the building they're doing throughout not only my neighborhood, Plantation, but all of South Florida, having to do or to try to cope with the people moving in. There's not enough housing. We have a housing shortage, so they're building everywhere. And I think a better way to illustrate this is not to tell you about it, just to show you what I'm talking about. Now, another reason cited by people leaving the state of Florida are changing politics. And I hate getting into the political debate, but this is a big reason why people are leaving. So it's obvious that people that are leaving, or a good handful of them, are leaning to the left, because right now Florida is a Republican or a red state, and it's not always been that way. This has only been for the last couple of years. My area that I live in, Broward County, from what I understand and remember, here's the cat coming to bother me. Now, my area, Broward County, is the only area that I know of here in South Florida that is still blue or Democrat. But you know what? I never notice any political things going on in this area. I don't ever see it. I don't notice it. I don't pay attention to it. But a lot of other people do. So if we look at the Facebook group, we'll just scroll through here real quick and kind of see some of the comments and what some people are talking about. And you can see firsthand why some people are stating that they're leaving Florida and what they don't like about it. Now, to round this out, and I think this is the biggest factor for anyone, regardless of politics or anything like that, when things affect your bottom line and your money and affordability, that has got to be the main reason. So the cost of living here in South Florida has just skyrocketed in the last few years. So aside from the normal things that everybody has to purchase and spend money on in order to live, like groceries and gas and all that type of stuff, the biggest expense for anybody when it comes to cost of living is housing. And this means whether you're purchasing or renting. So rising housing prices is a major factor, because most people just cannot afford to buy a house here in Florida, especially considering the wages or what people are paid here in the state. Now, along with housing prices, property taxes have also spiked recently, because they go hand in hand with property prices. As your property goes up in value, so do your property taxes, and they're getting pretty high. Also, home insurance, which is tied to property values, has been going up steadily as well. Also, the recent hurricane in Fort Myers, we're talking about weather in this video as well. The building collapse last year in Miami at Surfside, another reason why, or another contributing factor to why property insurance has skyrocketed recently, and it's just really a mess. But I think that the affordability and the cost of housing in general is probably the main factor why a lot of people are leaving. And this is not even to mention all the other things, the critters, the wildlife, snakes, gators, palmetto bugs. There's a whole host of reasons why people are leaving Florida. They're leaving at pretty big numbers, but it's still more people moving into the state than leaving. So again, like I said, there's two sides to the coin. A lot of people moving in record numbers, but it seems like a lot of people are leaving as well. So you got to want to live in Florida for certain reasons. And obviously, if it's not for you, you're going to want to leave, or maybe you should not move here in the first place. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. It gave you something to think about. I appreciate you watching. If you have any real estate needs, looking to purchase a home anywhere in Florida, or you have a house to sell, I would love to be your real estate resource. I'm a licensed realtor. My information is down below. You can reach me anytime. Look forward to talking to you, and I'll see you all on the next video. Take care.